Picture this. 1 year ago, you had $1,000 and one good instinct. AI is the future, I should get some money into it. You're not a stock genius, you just don't want to miss the biggest thing happening in the economy right now. So you buy in. And now watch what happens. If you split that $1,000 between two companies called Micron and SanDisk, two names most people couldn't pick out of a lineup, you would be sitting on around $22,000 today. I know how that sounds. It's real. And the charts will be right here on the screen if you don't believe me. But if you've done the obvious thing, the safe thing, and bought Microsoft and Meta, the names everybody knows, you would have about $940. You'd actually be down. And just so you know, this wasn't some unlucky year to be in the market. The plain S&P 500 index was up about 27% over the exact same stretch. Same instinct, same year, same AI boom. One bet turned $1,000 into $22,000. The other one lost you money. And that gap is not luck. So today, I want to do something simple. This is the AI economy explained like you're 5. No jargon, no Wall Street word salad, just a simple map of where the money in AI is actually going, who's quietly collecting it, and where it's heading next. By the end of these 10 minutes, you won't just understand why this past year played out the way it did. You'll see where the money is moving right now. And that's the part that actually helps you going forward. Stick around to the end for that. So the map. The simplest way I found to picture the whole AI economy is a building with 3 floors. The ground floor is the pick and shovels, the physical stuff AI runs on, the chips, the memory, the storage. This is where you find NVIDIA, which designed the chips, TSMC, which manufactures them, and Micron and SanDisk, which makes the memory and storage that feed them. The middle floor is where the brain gets built, the companies making the actual AI models. Think OpenAI, Anthropic, Google's DeepMind, the intelligence itself. And the top floor is the apps, everything you, as a normal person, actually open and use. ChatGPT, Microsoft's Copilot, Meta's Assistant, all the AI features bolted onto softwares you already pay for. And here's one thing to hold on to. The famous names you'd reach for first mostly live up here on the top floor, while the names that quietly made people rich this past year mostly lived all the way down on the ground floor. Same building, very different rent. So let's follow the money, because this is the whole game. Every company on the middle and top floor, every model maker, every app needs the ground floor to function. They cannot build or run AI without the chips, the memory, the hardware. So money pours downward through the building and pulls onto the ground floor. There is an old line about gold rushes. The people who reliably got rich weren't the ones digging for the gold. They were the ones selling the shovels to everyone who showed up to dig. The ground floor sells the shovels. But the really important part, the part that actually explains those insane returns, is how these ground floor companies are built. Think about what it costs to be NVIDIA or TSMC or Micron. The huge money goes out the door before they sell a single thing. Building chip factories that cost tens of billions of dollars, the equipment inside them, years and years of research. And here's the key. Those costs barely moves. The factory costs the same whether it runs hot or sits half empty. So picture what happens when AI demand suddenly explode. Their sales go through the roof, but those gigantic costs stays roughly flat. The factories already exist, the research is already done, so almost every extra dollar of sale falls straight through to profit. That is why, when their revenue went up, their profit didn't just rise with it. It shot up far faster. And the numbers are almost ridiculous. NVIDIA kept roughly 75% of every dollar it makes before costs. TSMC keeps about half of every single dollar of revenue as pure profit. And Micron's special AI memory, it confirmed its entire supply for the year was already sold out, locked in under contracts that can't even be cancelled. When you sell something the whole world is desperate for, and you've already paid to build a factory, the money just lands in your lap. Now, the big buyers are not stupid. They can see exactly how much Nvidia is keeping. So Amazon and Google have built their own chip in-house. It's called the TPU, specifically to cut Nvidia out of that part of the bill. It's a real crack in the story and worth watching. But for now, it's a side project next to the mountain of Nvidia chips they're still buying every quarter. Because that's the other side of this building. Those same giants, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, are the customers. They're the ones doing the buying. Those four are on track to spend about $725 billion this year building out AI. And that is up 77% from the year before, which was already a record. And here's the awkward part. That spending hasn't come back as revenue yet. One number says it all. Microsoft is reportedly targeting about $25 billion of AI revenue this year, against something like $150 billion in spending. It's laying out roughly $6 for every $1 of AI revenue coming back so far. So now you can see why Microsoft and Meta stock went nowhere while the chip names exploded. And there's a saying for exactly this: don't try to catch a falling knife. You'd think a big famous stock that's dropped is a bargain, but investors look at Microsoft and Meta pouring hundreds of billions out the door with not much coming back yet, and they think, why would I grab this while it's still falling? So nobody reaches for it and the stock just keep drifting down. The winners sold the shovels, the buyers got punished for buying them. And honestly, if there's one business lesson I'd want you to take away from this whole video, it's that one. In a gold rush, it usually pays to be the one selling the shovel, not the one digging. So the obvious move is just to pile into the chips and memory stocks, right? Slow down, because this is where I have to be honest with you. Think about why Micron went up 600% and Microsoft didn't. A big part of it is concentration. Micron is an almost pure bet on this one memory shortage. When that one thing goes right, the whole stock flies. Microsoft's AI win is real, but it's buried inside a $3 trillion company doing 100 other things. The old way to ride a trend was to own the giant, save name. The new alpha, those eye-watering returns, came from the concentrated pure plays. But concentration cuts both ways, and this is the real danger of chasing memory stock right now. When the stock has already gone up 600%, the shortage, the sold out factories, the record profits, all of that good news is already baked into the price. You're not discovering a secret anymore. You're buying something the entire market has already figured out. It's priced in. And memory has always been one of the most brutally cyclical business there is. Today's shortage becomes tomorrow's glut. And when that turns, it turns fast and it turns hard. A chart that went up 3,000% can move just as violently the other way. So if the smart money isn't chasing what already ran, where is it going? This is the part I promised you earlier. Money in a boom behaves a lot like water. It flows to wherever the next bottleneck is. For the last 2 years, the bottleneck was the chip. That one is now easing, and the new bottleneck has shown up: power. Walk all the way down below the ground floor into the basement of the building. Because none of this, not one chip, not one data center, runs without electricity. And the build out is slamming straight into that wall. Goldman Sachs expect AI to push data center power demand up 175% by 2030. Up to half of the new data centers that have been announced are facing delays, and the number one reason is that they simply cannot get enough power. Even Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, has said it plainly. The future of AI won't be limited by chips. It will be limited by energy. And that's exactly where the new capital is starting to shift. Not the chip makers everyone already knows, but power. The grid, the energy companies, the unglamorous equipment that just moves electricity around. That's a whole video on its own. Subscribe if you want to catch that one. So to bring it home, the AI economy is a building. Money flows down to the ground floor, where the shovel sellers have a business model that turns a demand boom straight into profit. The famous giants on the upper floor are mostly buyers, spending faster than money comes back, which is why their stock has been a falling knife nobody wants to catch. And the next chapter is being written down in the basement with power. When you look at any AI stock from now on, you've already got 3 simple questions. Which floor is it on? Is it selling the boom or buying it? And has it already ran so far that the good news is priced in? And if picking a single stock feels like too much, that is a perfectly fair answer too. A broad AI or technology fund just buys you a thin slice of the whole building at once. And don't forget, I've got that free AI stock picking guide waiting for you on my website at pandacatfinance.com. Click the link in the description to claim it. It's my free gift to you guys for supporting this channel. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.